All right, everybody. So, in this video, what we are gonna do is like we are going back to Python learning. So, we are going to the exception handling part of Python. So, as usual, like Java or any other programming languages, we are using try catch block. But in this case, there is some small differences except the try catch setting. So we will see what are the changes in Python comparing to other languages. So that's our plan for today. So for Python, the exception handling is managed using try, except, else, finally. So except, else are the new one comparing to other languages, I guess. Finally, I'm just comparing with Java. So if I am comparing with some other languages like JavaScript or something, I know try catch is there, but I didn't see the finally. So except, else are the new things. So try block, as usual, the code that might raise an exception is placed inside try block. Except block. So except block is like a catch block with other programming language. You can catch specific exceptions, value error, type error, or use a generic except to catch all the exceptions. So else block. This block is executed only if the try block completes successfully without any exception. So there is an else block. That will happen only if there is no exception. If there is exception, except block will except block will run, the else block will not run. So that's the way these things are working. So finally block, this block always executed based on uh, based on regardless of whether the exception occur or not. Cleanup actions. So usually we are using to close some files or doing some operations that need to clean something, right? So that's exactly happening in this case. Catching multiple exception, you can catch multiple exception using comma separator values. If you are giving one exception, you don't need any brackets here. You need to provide a bracket. There's only difference on this case. And other than that, custom exception. So so except is a keyword to catch the exception. So you can define a custom exception. You can define your own exception by subclassing built-in exception. So you actually need to subclass the existing exception class. Then you can use except that particular error, then print whatever we need. So we will see everything in a code, and this will not take that much time because this is a simple topic but important topic. So take our we'll take our workspace and we will do the rest of the things. So here what we can do is like we'll use the we'll use the same workspace. I'm not going to add a new workspace or new page. So we some of the things we will copy, and some of the things we will copy from our document. Some of the things we will type. So that's a plan for today. So in this case, what we are exactly doing here, I'm taking a value from input console. So enter a number. Enter a number. So if number there's not a number, the exception will happen, right? So because I am trying to cast that into a number int value, so this probably will not work. It will throw an exception. So that we are trying to catch here in the except block. So in this block, what we are going to do, we need to print what we are going to print in value. Please enter a valid number, invalid value, valid input is the best thing. Then please enter a number. So these things are done right now. Try and accept are done. Then we have some other scenarios here, other type of exception. So like zero division error. So zero division error is like, so you are dividing 10 by number, right? So if you are providing 0 in this case, cannot divide by 0. So we can have a command like this. This block handles the division by 0. Okay, so here I am printing saying like cannot divide by 0. So these things are done, right? So these things are done. Then what is next? You need to have an else. So else will happen. Else, when is gonna happen else? So if the try the block is executed, if the try block completes successfully. So try block completes successfully, then else will print. So that's actually a little bit non-understandable things actually. So how these things are working. So try is completed, then it's going to the else part. So there is no brain on that, but it's fine. Whatever in the language we are following that. So I'm just typing the exact same, but it's fine. So here I'm printing some formatting. So what I am going to print? So you got the result, right? So if try is successful, you got the result, and you have the result here. So and then finally, So the finally will execute any scenarios, right? So executes regardless of exception, whether you got an exception, you throw an exception, or you got an exception, never mind, the finally block will execute. So that's the way these things are working. So this is the finally block. Executed no matter what, no matter what, whatever this. I'm just trying to run this, and we are going to run that one. Where is my Python command? Yeah, so here. So it's asking to enter a value. So I just enter y. This is the finally block. Execute and no matter what. Invalid input. Please enter a number. So here you're providing 0. Cannot divide by 0. So these things are working as expected, and we are good on that, and we are going back to we are going to the next one. So catching multiple exception into one. So what we can do in this case is like we're just making, since both are related to the same kind of errors, right? So one based on the input errors. So these all invalid values, whether it's you are providing 0 or whether it's you are providing number, what's going to be what's happening because of the invalid input. Please a number greater than 0. So so here we are catching multiple exception at one time. So that's the thing. Here invalid input. I'm just entering again 0 valid input. And in other cases, we are not touched as a successful scenario. The result is this one. That's also fine. So that's completed. We can go to the custom exception. So in the custom exception, we need to define a class. Okay, so here class custom error exception class, and in the next one div we will use init. That's actually calling superclass constructor. So that's actually happening here. So you need to provide a self and whatever object you need to pass. So here I am passing message, and here we can remove this one, and here we need this part, and here what exactly happening. So we are setting self message 10 equal to the message. Okay, so this is the way we are creating. We will go to these things later when we are discussing about the class. So right now this is fine for working on this one. So working on the custom exception, these things are okay. So here I will probably, so the first thing, it should be uppercase. The class should start with an uppercase. So something went wrong. Something went wrong. So there's a message we are trying to print, and then we need to catch that true exception. We are saying like customer us e, then print custom okay. So that's it. So here we are throwing our custom exception. Whatever be the case, this will throw a custom exception. Custom or a custom exception. So that's done. So we are all completed this exception handling. In the next video, probably we will go to the class and objects. But right now for exception handling, we are good. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.